Hi, everyone. My name is Ava Jasawala, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the religion of Zoroastrianism. I'm a Parsi, which means that I grew up in India and I practice Zoroastrianism. So let me share my screen with you and tell you a little bit about it. All right. So Zoroastrianism is an ancient religion. And I want to start off by telling you a little bit about the founder and the prophet, Zarathustra, or as the Greeks used to call him, Zoroaster. There's some dispute about when exactly he lived because there is not a lot of written documentation. But in ancient times, roughly between 1500 and 1200 BC, and he belonged to a priestly family and was himself ordained a priest. Now, around the age of 30, Zoroaster or Zarathustra had a vision, and this motivated him to further do a lot of meditation and think on his vision. And he came out of this with many ideas that he preached, which ultimately came to be known as the Zoroastrian religion. He also put all his teachings, his ideas, in the form of hymns that were called the Gathas, through which he professed or revealed his religion. He was quite successful. He had many of his family members who joined him. And around the age of 42, he performed a miracle in the court of the king at the time called Vishtaspa. And this led the king to really believe in him, believe in his values, and join his religion. And the king even went further to make Zoroastrianism the religion of his kingdom. And this is what gave the religion the initial boost. Zarathustra went on to do a lot more preaching, and he died at the ripe old age of the 70, in his 70s, excuse me. And he was also married and had 6 children. So, just a quick word about the values of Zoroastrianism or the Zoroastrian doctrine. First, it's important to note that this is a monotheistic religion. It was the first religion where Zoroaster came up with the firm idea that there is only one God or supreme creator called Ahura Mazda, which roughly translated means wise Lord. So, this is the supreme creator of the universe, and that's it. There are no other gods as such, although there are many angels in the Zoroastrian religion. Now, the main value, the main goal in Zoroastrianism is to spend one's life looking for truth and righteousness and making sure you find it and you practice it, because that is supposed to be the closest thing to God, to your connection to God. And this is what the Zoroastrians believe they should do. And by doing this, they will spread joy and happiness to themselves and those around them. There's also this idea of personal responsibility. So if you want to spend your life making sure that you practice truth and rightfulness, it means that you must choose good over bad. And this is a main principle in Zoroastrianism, where you have free will to choose between good and bad. And really, you would be a good Zoroastrian if you chose the good. The symbol that you see in the middle of this slide is something that you will see a lot of Zoroastrians wear either as a pin or as a pendant. And it shows you a little angel, a little farohar, which is supposed to be sort of a symbol of your own soul, your own sort of advisor, your own angel to whom you could ask for advice if you had an ethical dilemma, if you sort of had to choose between, hey, what's right and wrong in the situation. The farohar might give you some advice, might give you some guidance. So it's sort of like your conscience almost. And at the end of the slide, you'll see some quick uh, uh, doctrines, some quick principles that Zoroaster preached. The first one is something you will find many Zoroastrians, if they were to tell you what their religion preaches, this is a good sort of way of telling you in very quick manner. good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Okay, so if you have to practice asha, if you have to practice truth and righteousness, it means that you should always err on the side of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Zoroastrianism also values doing charitable works, showing respect for every living being, humans, animals, nature. They believe very much in conserving and protecting nature, and they value cleanliness in all their rituals. There's a whole ritual around cleanliness. In fact, even when you say your prayers, you should have a bath, you should clean yourself, have a clean environment, and this is highly valued as well. The sacred text, quick word on that. The sacred text is called the Avesta, and the Avesta really is a collection of many different things. It's a collection of prayers, the gathas or the hymns by Zoroaster, by Zarathustra. It is a collection of the rituals that you may perform in the religion. So many different things are included in the Avesta. Uh, the symbol of the fire, if you look at the picture on the slide, the fire is seen as something sacred, and it should be present anytime that you pray. It could be a small fire, a small little diya or light in your home. If you are praying in your home, it'll be in a big, if you look at this picture, a big metal urn in a fire temple. Right in the middle of the fire temple, it'll have a special room, and you would go there and pray in front of it. Some people call the Zoroastrians fire worshippers, but this is not exactly accurate. The fire is just a symbol of our spirituality. It is a symbol of the light within each of us. Some people think it's a symbol of our free will. It shows our own spark, so to speak. So fire is really a symbol of our inner light and spirituality. Quick word on ceremonies. The Navjot ceremony is the coming of age ceremony, sort of like the bar mitzvah for the Jewish people. And the Navjot is performed both for boys and girls. I think this is something that you might find in Zoroastrianism, and boys and girls are both sort of seen as people who should go through this initiation ceremony. And this is when they will begin wearing some clothes like the muslin shirt and a holy thread, which are symbolic of the religion. And they use those and tie them in a particular way in order to complete their prayers. Again, the wedding ceremony is performed by a priest, and there are some prayers that are recited. There's rice that is showered upon the couple. This is very, very typical, not unlike some Indian wedding ceremonies as well. And finally, I wanted to say a quick word on how Zoroastrianism has influenced other religions. You might find, for instance, among Judaism, Christianity, there are some ideas from Zoroastrianism that were actually adopted by these religions. And I've sort of listed what I could think of. There is only one supreme God, good over evil, heaven and hell. After you have finished your life on earth, there may be some judgment, and depending on how your judgment goes, you may be worthy either of heaven or hell. Human beings have free will, and they should err on the side of choosing good over evil. This has led to this idea of being ethical, having a moral code. Doing charity is seen as something good, something that makes you a more religious person, a more spiritual person. I've already mentioned the idea of final judgment. And finally, this belief in equal and human rights between the genders, between people of different faiths or different races. And I wanted to leave you with a closing thought that Zoroastrianism is the oldest of the revealed religions and has had a lot of influence on other religions and on mankind in general. By the way, this quote is from Mary Boyce, and if anybody wants to read more about Zoroastrianism, I would strongly recommend the books written by Professor Boyce, who was a professor at University of London and did a lot of research, including archaeological research and religious research on Zoroastrianism. Thank you for listening.